When things happen to other people and we feel that should have happened to us, we get all bent out of shape. We don't like it and we agonize over it and miss things. What we need to do is just let it go and realize what really happened. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer and I talk about this stuff on this channel because I've lived through it. Now, it is a Philosophy Friday video, usually, but this one is really the Anxiety Depression Thursday. We've been talking a lot about it, and I've been bringing up a lot about it in this book, Zen Speaks. I love the stories, and I'm currently dabbling a lot in Zen philosophy and just trying to see if I can make sense of it all. In fact, one of my biggest goals is to study a lot of religion for myself. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see how it goes. So the story today is about two monks, and they're going to visit a monastery. For the sake of argument, why don't we name one of them Hal and one of them is Herb. Hal approaches the monastery, and he says, "Is this the chief head monk of the monastery?" Looks at Hal and says, "Is this your first time here?" Hal says, "Yes, it is actually." So the head monk says, "Fine, go ahead and have some tea." So Herb, following behind Hal, goes, "Okay." So the head monk stops Herb and says, "Is this your first time here?" He says, "No, it is not." He says, "Go ahead and have some tea." So Herb is like, "Well, so I had tea before, if I've been here, do I have something different?" And the head monk says, "Well, the tea is insignificant. It's just really a gesture. Everyone is just getting a nice thing. Please go have some tea." And this is really interesting because I see it that, and especially with myself, that we're getting hung up a lot on things. And we as a society right now, and especially as an American society, are really we're not in a good state. We're really not in a good state at all. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and what happens is when big things happen, it's why me? Why are no other people not having a problem where we're really struggling? Somebody did this today, actually. I was working out and I was hanging out at a place, and I had a mask on once this person came in, and we worked together before the furlough, and he decided he's not going to come back. And he asked me, he says, "How's it going? We're going to exchange pleasantries for a moment." And I said, "I'm doing okay. Lucky enough, I used a lot of bank time. I got paid all through April. And, right now I'm just working on, getting some unemployment checks. But hopefully, the business will be open soon and we can all go back." And he starts yelling. He's like, "What the? Why? Why are you doing this? This is so stupid. Oh my God." And I'm like, hey, we're all in this together, and my luck. I happen to be ready for it, and we had some money set aside, and now I'm dealing with it, and I felt awful because on the other side of it, this guy has not had a penny come in, but it's still, we're all drinking the tea. We're all living the same human experience right now. And I think that his anger towards me because I prepared and, it doesn't seem like he did, I don't think that's right, but I can't blame him for it because he didn't know my side of the story. He suddenly saw that I was special, even though we've known each other for years. But he's like, "Oh, well, it always happens with you." And, then He talked about other things. But, and immediately I said, buddy, I feel really, really sorry for you. And I worked to turn the conversation around, and I said, I wish you well. I'm not in a position to give you any money myself. However, what I can offer you, and I just gave him some water. And I just gave him some time, and I said, I listened to his stories, and we worked it out. And I said, just because we're in the same situation and yet somewhat different does not mean I can't help. Now, he immediately starts trying to cut off things where, if I was, I'm obviously in a decent position and I could have turned it around and said, hey, why don't we help? Here's what you can do. And we talked and listened, and I just chat with him. And lucky enough, he realized that I could help him just by talking. And he had some financial problems itself, and, we worked it out, and, by far I'm not an expert on everything, but, we set a plan up and then said, hey, let's see what we can do. So the point of this is, and like the Zen thing is, you want to, just because you're getting tea and you're getting tea, realize we're all in the human experience. And I could have done a bad thing by just shutting out, saying sorry and leaving. And he could have done a bad thing just by continuing to hold a grudge because I was in a position of, I'm doing okay at this point. But we're all in the human experience. We're all drinking the same tea together. So what we've got to do is we've got to say, okay, hey, let's bring it together. Let's see what we can do to maybe hash it out. And we talked to maybe 20 minutes. And we said, hey, you're feeling okay. And, he luckily walked away good. We can't shake hands now, but we bowed and felt good, and then we moved on. And I think the thing is we've got to make sure that we feel good about that. And with anxiety that's building up, we can let our anxieties build because maybe the one person is not feeling as good as the other. But what we can do is we can, just recognize we're on an even playing field. Recognize we're on an even playing field and not take it personal that other persons are having a different track in life. But just try and just do everything we can to feel good and do the best we possibly can. And then, and only then, there's only really one step with this, by the way. Then and only then can we talk and try to figure it out just as people. And just say, if I wasn't able to help them, okay, I tried. That's all we can do. All right. So we have plenty of videos on this channel and definitely hope this helps. So we'll see you soon. As always, we climb. Check out this video right here, and I will see you there.